Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In these videos, I show you how to make one tangle pattern using the Zentangle method of drawing. So today I've got my Micron pen. This is a PN plastic nib pen. I have a graphite pencil for some drawing and shading and a little blending tool. I'm also using a 2" by 2" tile from Zentangle.com. All of these materials are available from Zentangle.com, but also you can use whatever pen, paper, and pencil you have at home. Okay, so today's tangle is called Don Lin by Barbara Duel Johnson, who is a CZT. All right, let's try this one. This one is beautiful. I love it. And Barbara she has a whole list of amazing tangles that she has designed. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to start with pencil and then I will switch to pen. Usually I just start right around with pen, but I want you to be able to erase it if you don't love how it's working, okay? All right, so this starts out with a little bit of a grid and I need space to add some things on top of the grid. So I'm going to put a little dot like in the center, leaving probably about a finger width's room. And I'm going to put a dot down here at the bottom, doing the same thing. Again, leaving some room to draw. And then I'm going to put one on each of the each of the other two sides. So I end up with 4 dots. And now I'm going to connect those dots, making a diamond shape like that. So as long as yours looks something like that and you've got room on these 4 points to add some things, then you should be good. Okay, I'm going to pick up my pen and I'm going to trace those. And then we're going to add a grid on the inside. So I'm going to put 3 lines and then I'm going to put 3 lines the other way. So to do that, I'm going to actually divide this right in half. Then I'm going to divide this one in half and then this side. Then I'm going to divide it in half this way. And then that one and that one. Okay, now we're going to take each of these little intersecting pieces and we're going to add a round dot. Make sure they're all about the same size. Okay, here's where I think it gets kind of fun. So now we're going to add some loops to each of these points. And to do that, I'm going to go up to this top diamond and I'm going to go to this left line over here and I'm going to loop up and then come over to this side here. And I do not need to go up very high. I want it to be just kind of a nice round, almost like a teardrop shape, with this point being that bottom part. So I'm going to come up here and go down there. So I still have room up here. See how it connects to that line and to that line. Then I'm going to turn my tile and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to imagine it coming off of this line, going up and down to that line. All right, mine are all different sizes, and that is okay. All right, once you get those 4 loops in, then we're going to do another one, but this one's actually going to start at the point of each of these ends. So I'm going to start right here, and my little loop is going to go up past that line and then come back down. So just like this, and come back down. Same thing on this side, go past it and come back. I love it. It looks like a complicated, like a crochet or knitting or something. Okay, so now the last thing we're going to do to finish off drawing it is aura the whole thing. So I'm going to give it a nice close aura, and an aura is just a line that follows along another line. These can be a little bit tricky because our hands tend to be a little more wobbly when we're just following something. That's okay, just do your best. And go slow. And that's it. That is Don Lynn. We did it. So now I just want to talk about some variations and then we'll do some shading. But one of the variations that she shows is when we make this first little loop up here, she then goes down to this next line and she adds a second loop around each one. And then when she does this one, she lifts her pen and like jumps behind the loop and comes back and then doubles that as well. So if you're interested in her variations, you can look up Don Lynn Zentangle, and she's got some beautiful things. All right, so this is it. We're going to do some shading, and then if we want, we can go back in and add some more patterns or embellishments or a frame if we want. All right, I'm going to initial my work down here and then do some shading. So I don't even know what this is like meant to be. So the shading is not like an artistic shading where we're thinking about the light source. We're just doing it basically to add some interest and some depth to this. So it is not precise work and you really can shade it wherever you want. So I'm going to shade the inside edge of this grid. So I'm just going to put a little bit of my graphite, and my pencil is just an HB. It's a number 2 pencil, so as long as you have a pencil at home, you can do this. And if you don't have a blending tool, you can use a Q-tip or the edge of a tissue. And then what we do is we soften it and we pull it out away from that line. Isn't that pretty? All right, and then I thought it would be fun to shade the outside edge of this loop. But then I thought up here we should go on top. So let's see how that looks. I did these little edges here, and then I did the top. Just kind of playing around with light and depth. So if you have a different way to do it, then of course, please do that. I'm going to go on the outside edges here and then a little bit on that top part. outer little edges of that loop and the top. And the last one. Look at how pretty that looks. All right, so this is a finished piece. Now it is just a monotangle. We just did it one time. If you were adding this to a larger piece, it'd be a great thing to start in the center with and then do some other tangling around it. You also could connect two of these grids, maybe skip the loop right here, add two of these grids and then do the outer loops. That would be a fun way to play with it. You could also add some designs or patterns inside these little white areas. And so right now I'm actually going to put in some little curved, very thin lines. Look at that, just for fun. You do not have to do this part. I just love to play inside of a tangle and add embellishments or texture or little things. You could also aura the whole thing again, or you could add some more loops. You could put a little frame around this piece. You know what else would be beautiful is henna drum with the little round part of the flower and then pieces coming out. So again, so many ways to embellish this piece, but I hope that you enjoyed it. For the month of May coming up, I'm going to be doing a botanical series, more organics and floral type things in Barbara Duel Johnson. I'm using many of her floral tangles. So thank you, Barbara, and I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.